Their aura is unequal.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Or whatever. And they started to make it a little more raspy, and I follow directions.
Their contents are legendary.
That little sheet you see is his concept drawing.
Their attitude is embraced. Tune in to one of the most up and rising kaiju-sized groups within our community. So go ahead and watch all of their creative content, including that of the Raw Attitude live interview, where they have special guests ranging from actors, directors, toy creators, artists, and many, many more. You can also find them on multiple of other social media platforms, ranging from Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You could even sit back and watch your favorite classic monster movie and even watch us go through one of the most iconic games on Twitch. Featuring your hosts, Eric Stowe, Adrian Settle, Joe Myers, Samson West, Jordan Adorno. They are the Monsters with Attitude.
Hello, friends, listeners with attitude. I am your host, Joe Mama, and as always, joined with me, my brother from another mother, Mr. Eric Stoll. Eric, how are you?
Defeated.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I guess we will get the bad news out of the way. We are both very disappointed to have to say that Eric Bischoff is having some travel delays. He got caught in an airport of some kind. I'm actually currently talking with his people, trying to reschedule. I did offer a later show today. I'm still waiting for a response. I don't think that's probably going to happen. It's looking like it'll probably be sometime in the future, whether that's tomorrow or in a few days. I just don't know. And I think that the plan maybe was for him to have to go to a hotel and be able to do it, but now I'm thinking that they're trying to get him on a flight. I think it's all just kind of a jumbled mess, unfortunately. But it is out of our control. We are super disappointed, very sad. This was an interview that I can honestly say, we've been, Eric and I kind of, I don't know what the word is, rejuvenated or changed the MWA about a year ago when we came up with this interview format and idea, and we kind of brainstormed together and really wanted to reshape the brand and talk to just anybody and everybody that we grew up with and that we were fans with, people that made an impact on our lives, and whether that was a voice actor, a content creator, an actor, a writer, a wrestler, a producer, a booker, no matter who it is or whatever. We just wanted to talk with these people, and we were super happy with how the MWA has kind of changed and grown over the past year, and honestly super humbled with the amount of people that we have been able to sit down and talk to. But I can honestly say that I don't get nervous much, and I don't get I don't know, trepidatious or whatever the word is that you want to use. About 2 hours before we were set to go live, I called Eric and I was like, holy shit, dude. I was shitting bricks. I was like, what the hell is happening? And I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe that that Eric Bischoff personally responded to me in the way that I contacted him and was like, hell yeah, man, for sure. Gave me his agent's info and whatever. And, the rest they say is history. So that alone, I was like, literally called Eric Eric Stolp. I will refer to Stolp as Stolp and Eric Bischoff as Eric for the remainder of the story. Literally called called Stolp and woke him up at like 10:30 at night or something like that. I was like, "Get your ass out of bed! You're not going to believe who we're going to interview next." So we're very excited. So and ultimately very disappointed that this has to happen this way. But unfortunately, so are flights and weather, and just life sometimes throws a monkey wrench. So we're sad that this happened, but we are going to reschedule.
Yeah. It's just kind of the name of the game, honestly, when you do this kind of stuff. Life happens. It could be emergencies. It could be, like you said, traffic, travel. I mean, we've had people contact us minutes before we're supposed to go on, and they are literally in their car driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour trying to get home, trying to make it to the interview, which
Yes.
obviously we're grateful for. But
Yes.
it's stuff like that happens, and it's unforeseen. You just can't help it. And as busy and as demanding as Eric Bischoff is, this stuff is bound to happen, honestly, with the kind of schedule he probably has, and everything like that. So it sucks, but it is kind of the name of the game. And as your heights reach for bigger and brighter stars, we're going to run into this with either scheduling conflicts or the time or limited amount of time. Just all that kind of stuff is going to happen. So it sucks for us, but it sucks for you, the viewers and listeners, because we really want to put out this content for all of you, honestly, because this is stuff that we love to do. We love talking about it. We love talking to each other, and we love sharing it with everybody that has the same like-minded as us. And it's so fun to see the reaction and get that camaraderie going with other, online that maybe we didn't have, growing up, or, even in their early adulthood and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it sucks all around for everybody. So
Yes, Corey, you are the victim.
what's going on, Monster Kid Corey? Haven't seen you in a little while. We're just talking about it today.
Fanciest says, just put Samson in a black wig and a leather jacket and interview him as Eazy-E.
Dude, for real.
Samson wears a black wig and leather for complete other reasons, but yes. It does suck. You were saying people driving 80 realizing that they got their time in our time. That, you know what? That was Ryan Parrott from Boom Studios. I messaged him and I'm like, "Hey bud, like, just so you know, like, we're ready when you are." And he's like, "Holy shit, I thought it was an hour. I am so sorry." He's like, "I'm going like 100." And I'm like, "Dude, it's cool. Just slow down. Like, I'd rather interview you in 10 more minutes than in 10 pieces." So Stephanie Nadolny, the voice actress of Kid Goku and Gohan. Right when we're trying to start, her computer shuts down, restarts. They can't get everything to work. It just, unfortunately, it's the name of the game sometimes.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, we're very disappointed. Yes, obviously for selfish reasons, but also we're disappointed that, if we're being honest, we feel embarrassed that we made this promise and we have to cancel it. For now, we are planning on rescheduling and doing everything in our power to see what can happen. I don't think they realized that we go live. I think they thought this was going to be a recorded thing, because I don't think that they would have waited this long, or at least I would like to think that they wouldn't have waited that long to cancel. But like a little bit less than an hour before, we were kind of waiting, seeing if we could work something out. But yeah.
Just sucks. Just sucks. But
It does.
It'll definitely be rescheduled. It will be on the MWA channel, so stay tuned for that. We will work out the details, and hopefully we can nail it down next time and cross our fingers that nothing happens and it goes through smoothly, and we can bring you guys the content you guys deserve. So,
Nathaniel, we need to do a shot. Nathaniel brought up King Kong Lives. Ready?
oh shit! Oh, I don't. I'll get my El Squirte out and.
Nathaniel, you have to have like the biggest King Kong Lives collection, right? By far,
Dude,
for how
for
much
real.
of a fan you are. What do you got? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if there is King Kong Lives. Do you have anything? A poster, a book, a toy? I'm curious.
Yeah, what is there for merch out there, honestly, besides like maybe the movie?
Yeah,
because honestly, I don't know of any, unfortunately. So.
Monster King Corey. Nathaniel has to have the only King Kong Lives collection.
Hey, but you're a Kong fan too, though. So,
yeah, Corey's like, I'm a fan, but not that one. Oh, Leslie, thank you. That means a lot. He says, "Don't beat yourselves up. Things happen. It's all good. We definitely understand, and we are still riding with y'all." Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
Buddy.
It's I don't know if you caught the whole spiel, but it's basically very disappointing. Yeah, still fuck Vince Russo. Well, I shouldn't say that because actually, you know what? Since Eric Bischoff canceled, I'll be honest, I sent out something to Vince Russo. I mean, not that I'm a fan, but I'm like, I'm curious. I got some questions for him.
Oh my god!
No, fuck Vince Russo. I'm a Kong fan, but 76-86 doesn't pass my threshold. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. I don't think there's really anything. Isn't there maybe one toy out there or so? Or no? Is that
I don't think there's even a toy out there of King Kong Lives. Honestly.
Is it like one of those things that's like giant gorilla, but people call it like the King Kong Lives? Probably. I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah. I'm not really sure.
Okay, Leslie's ditching us. Bye, Leslie.
Bye, Leslie. My collection is 33 Japanese and a tiny amount of months. Okay.
Right on.
I mean, those are the best.
Oscar's saying there is a King Kong. There is a 76 Kong. I've never seen it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, everybody. I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Everybody in the chat, since we were going to talk some wrestling tonight, specifically WCW stuff, what is everybody thinking? The Cena heel turn versus the Hogan heel turn. Is there any comparison at all? Or I'll say it right now. To me, the Hogan heel turn sent shockwaves through the industry. And while I think that the Cena heel turn is big, I just don't see it being the same caliber as Hogan. I just don't. And I think it's because we don't really know what that story is yet. Maybe once we actually hear the final story of what's going to happen, it'll be like, oh wow, that was really good. But as of right now, I'm just not feeling the same. Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Absolutely agree. Agree.
Wow.
Never heard of that.
Interesting.
Leo, what is going on?
Hogan heel turned the world upside down. Absolutely. I mean,
absolutely.
Legitimately shockwaves through the industry. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe, where were you when you saw that or heard about that moment? Like, do you remember what you were doing? Were you watching? Like, what were you doing?
So I didn't grow up with cable because I live in a small hodunk town, but my cousins watched wrestling. So when I would go there, they would have like back in the day, they'd have like VHSs that they would record stuff on TV. Well, some of them, one of my cousins in particular would watch both and would flip. So whatever one he watched, he would record the other one from like their other TV or whatever. So like if he watched WWF, he recorded WCW,
Okay.
so he could watch it later.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know. It probably would have had to have been. Let's see. Hogan's heel turn was June of '96, so I bet you we're talking late '96, early '97 is when I. Because keep in mind, I was also 8 years old or something like that. Yeah, no, yeah, 8 years old, 7 years old. So like I was still kind of young, to where I
Okay.
wasn't, you know, watching it or allowed to watch it, I should say, religiously. But whenever we would go to
Mhm.
my grandma's and my cousins were there, which we went fairly often, and my cousins lived with my grandma, I'd get to watch it, or some friends they'd get to watch it. So, probably late '96, early '97, I would say. And I mean, I was shocked. I mean, as shocked as a 7-year-old could be, right? That
Dude.
just watched what he could get his hands on, but yeah. Yeah, what about you? Do you remember?
I do actually. So when I was growing up, we were a big household wrestling family. Like obviously, except my mom, but like my brothers, my sisters, we all watched that stuff, and we actually got the pay-per-view because we all chip in all the time. Well, if we have to do extra chores, or we had paper outs back in the day when that was actually a thing, to to get some money, we would always chip in and get the pay-per-view, and it was like, oh God, what was it, like $30 to $40 per pay-per-view, which is kind of ridiculous. And then like WrestleMania was like 50 or 60. But no, we got the pay-per-view, we watched it live, and the anger I felt when Hogan did the leg drop was insane. Insane. I couldn't believe it, honestly. And to this day is still the most shocking moment in wrestling history. Like I said, I've stated to this, we've talked about this, off, in our own personal chats. The whole Cena thing, I saw it coming. It wasn't a surprise to me. The Hogan thing was a complete surprise. I thought he was coming out to beat the crap out of Hall and Nash, and set things right and everything. But no, and he joined right away. I was like, oh my gosh, it was just absolutely insane. So there's nothing that could ever top that. Like, I understand Cena's been good for so long, I get that, but he was bad once or twice, so he's already done that route. Hogan wasn't that, so it just meant so much more when Hogan's turn happened. So
Right. Hell as a whole. Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah,
it does a little bit, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Who do you guys think was hotter, Tori Wilson or Stacy Keibler? Legs versus bust. Exactly, Stacy Keibler, dude.
Well, so I'll say this: I was Stacy Keibler when I was younger, but as a grown man, Stacy Keibler, respectable, love. But Tori Wilson, I'm like, hello.
So your likes changed, your taste changed.
Yeah.
Let's see. In '97, Monster Kid Corey was 19. I was 12, so I was right behind you.
Damn, you both old. Leslie has, let's see, Leslie's heel turn feels forced and not true. It does. So I listened to Eric Bischoff's podcast every week, and there was somebody, their podcast is very similar to ours, or I should say ours is very similar to theirs, in the sense of they will talk about something and have comments, and if there's a good comment, they'll throw it up on the screen. And Conrad did that, and somebody said something like, Hogan's heel turn made you feel, Cena's heel turn, and I don't remember the second part of it, but it made perfect sense. Like, you felt something when Hogan's heel turn happened. it's just I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Oh, Nathaniel has a thing. Maybe. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Maybe Cena is being forced to be bad by The Rock. So I need more of the story. I need more of the story.
Yeah. And they're running out of time, where honestly, if they did this, they should have done it right away this year. Like, don't have Cena be good for several months and then just all of a sudden, because they have nothing for Cody at WrestleMania, oh, let's turn Cena heel and kind of force it. And I get why people are saying, yeah, it feels forced, because it is. Like, it wasn't done right. They just threw it on us with really nothing. Honestly, I don't like it. I don't like it. For one, it's years and years late. For another, they don't have enough time to build the story. Like, don't get me wrong, like Cena and Cody's promos are excellent, are really good, but they don't have enough time to really build it up. And I think that kind of sucks, because for such the magnitude of this match and who these guys are, where Cody is the new babyface of what Cena was, and now Cena turning to be the bad guy to go up against Cody, it's very lackluster for what it could have been, honestly. And it kind of sucks. It sucks, because I mean, obviously we know after this year, Cena's done, and so we're not going to get any more of him, which I'm fine with. I don't get me wrong, I am not a Cena fan. I have never been a Cena fan, never have been, never will be. But I think it is good TV that he turned bad, and he is one of the best on the mics, and you can't dispute that at all. So he can talk. So. Leslie had a question. I have a question head for Eric. We'll ask us. Erase one from history. Bash of the Beach 2000 or Starrcade 99. I don't even know what matches were in.
So Bash of the Beach is famous for the Vince Russo, Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff, Hogan screwjob controversy, where Vince Russo and Jeff Jarrett went into business for themselves. They the four of them had agreed on a finish, and then but at the start of the match, Russo and Jarrett agreed together, and Jarrett just walked in and laid down. And you could see Hogan saying to Jeff Jarrett, like, "What are you doing? Like, get the fuck up. Like, we have a match to do." And he refused to get up. So Hogan literally was forced just to get down and pin him. And when he took the belt, he turned around to Jarrett and said, and to Jarrett and Russo, and it was like, "It's because of you fucking people that this company's going down." And sure enough, about a year later, that company went under. So that's that. And Starrcade 99 is when Bret Hart wore the metal plate.
Oh yeah, okay, for Bill Goldberg. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Is that no? I apologize. That was the lead up to it, I believe. That's the match where Starrcade 99. That's the match where Bret Hart actually got the concussion from Goldberg, I believe. Right, Leslie? So then you're saying that that Bret Hart would have not been concussed and would have been able to continue his career for maybe another 10 years or 15 years or so. Oof, that's tough. Both were bad. I've got to say, just for the possibility of a longer career and seeing what could happen, I'd have to go with erasing Starrcade 99 and hoping that Bret Hart had a longer career.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's I mean, don't get me wrong, like the BS of Bash of the Beach 2000 is pretty bad, and really I think was like a mortal wound to WCW, but or one of the many fatal wounds to WCW, I guess. But Bret Hart being hurt took a very strong utility player off the board. And
Yeah.
so I'd have to give it to that. Actually, Oscar has a very good question. Really good question, Oscar. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
We were doing that. We were doing that at the same time.
Oh,
Okay, here's my question. What are both of your top 4 wrestlers WCW for Mount Rushmore? Easy. Easy. You ready? You ready for this? You ready for this?
You go first. I gotta think a little bit here.
Disco Inferno.
You're so
Disco Inferno. Ralphus. Mark Marrow.
Oh my!
No, just kidding. Oh, and who was the stormtrooper guy that tripped? Oh my gosh, this is Shockmaster. Yeah, no. I'd have to go. That's tough. So that's a really good question because there's a lot of really good answers, and in order to make it truly WCW, I'm going to exclude Hogan, Hall, and Nash because they originated from WWF. I feel, and I would like it to keep like the Georgia Championship Crockett WCW lineage. So I'm going to go with Sting, Ric Flair, Diamond Dallas Page.
Ooh, that was one of mine.
Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
The Dream, baby.
Oh man, dude. They had so many good ones. Even we were talking about this the other night too, where we were talking about their cruiserweight division and how good their cruiserweight division was, and they had so many good guys even in that division. That you could easily put them on the list too because they cemented their names, and then they even became even bigger after leaving. So
I forgot Booker T too. Oh, Booker T.
Ooh.
But you know what? I mean Booker T was freaking fire in WCW, but he in my opinion he hit another level in WWE. And his like King Booker with his little pinky up. Oh, I loved it. That was so freaking funny.
Oh God, that's funny. Yeah, I'll have to go obviously Goldberg because that's they made him what he is, this unstoppable force. DDP because he was like the lone hero that kept fighting against the NWO and still would never turn. And he just kept fighting, even though they beat his ass every single week. He had no chance whatsoever. Every once in a while he'd put one over on him, and that was always great. But man, he always just got his ass beat. It kind of sucked, but it is what it was.
I don't understand why Goldberg is so controversial. I understand that he wasn't a great technical wrestler.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker was over. Like he was the definition of over.
Easily.
Bischoff says it the best. He goes, Goldberg would walk in, badass music. He'd huff smokes and snort fire on his way to the ring. He'd hit you, bing, bang, boom. 2 minutes later, the bell would ring and he's back through the curtain. And guess what? It freaking worked. And there was a period of time for that year or two where Goldberg was fire. Just as hot as anybody, maybe not as hot as Austin or The Rock, but like up there for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why that's controversial.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Eric, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. I don't know. There's so many. Like honestly, I would probably Sting will probably be up there because he really put that brand on his back. But even Jericho was great. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I guess that would be my top 4. Would be those 4 guys. There's so many. Like I said, you had top tier, you had middle tier, Even the lower tier were fine too at some point, but like they had the variety, and it was so good. It was so fun to watch, honestly. Wander, what's going on? He's picking Sting, DDP, Mysterio made the cruiserweight division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Goldberg. Okay. Nathaniel, Booker T, Sting, DDP, and dude, DDP and Kimberly, like, dude, Kimberly was a knockout, dude, knockout. And Goldberg, all right, Adrian, Goldberg, Sting, Booker T, Hogan. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of was the point a little bit of him, to really amp up his character and to sell that he was this unstoppable force and he was just running through everybody. Obviously until they got to that point where they really didn't have anybody, they're just throwing jobbers at him just to completely annihilate him, just to get that quick, reaction from the crowd and then, go away kind of thing. But then, when he started wrestling the big namers, then it was a little bit more different. But yeah, I think that was kind of the whole point of his character.
Yeah, for sure. Nathaniel agrees with me. Thank you, Nathaniel. What heel turn?
Out of place Goldberg in WWE 2000 or Stone Cold in WWE in 2001?
I gotta go with Stone Cold. I don't think he should have ever turned heel. No, it did. His Stone Cold's heel turn did give us some hilarious, great
dude.
Stone Cold, like his singing in the guitar and all that.
Dude.
I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say that was fire, dude. That was fire. But I liked it because he totally changed from like this, the tough SOB to like him being kind of whiny. And this not going his way or not this happening. It's kind of like what Cena's doing right now. If it's not going his way, he's kind of being whiny about things. And I thought it was great. I think that was some of the funniest bits that we got from Stone Cold and anybody that he kind of dealt with. I thought it was fun. Even though he was like that, I still loved him. I still rooted for him. I didn't care. He was my guy.
Who was?
Stone Cold.
What?
He was my guy.
What?
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 What? Dude, so good.
What? Good. Give me a hell yeah. I love Stone Cold.
Lots of Ryback in this. Dude, Ryback was trash. I hated him from the minute he came in. It was trash.
I think he had potential as a big man, but I mean, he was all right. Like, nothing special.
Yeah,
if he was
terrible.
Yeah. Like, when he was, like, the bad guy or whatever the hell, and he would, like, do that thing where he would, like, pat his head, I'm like, dude, that looks so stupid. What are you doing? Like, I'm big and strong, not, Like,
exactly. I was like, no, just stop. Leslie, who felt more as an embarrassment as WCW champion, David Arquette or Vince Russo? I was just gonna say Russo.
For the shit that David Arquette gets, and rightfully so, because he wasn't training at the time, he was a huge fan, and later on, he actually went, like, this is like maybe within the past 5-10 years, he went and did a whole bunch of indie wrestling to kind of like pay back the fans, and didn't get paid, and donated a lot of money to wrestling charities and things of that nature, which is, I think, really cool.
Yep. I was gonna say he was a fan of it, like a huge fan of it. So I could appreciate that at least. What?
Grab myself a beer. What? A Bud Light. What? Budweiser. What? Coors Light. What? Coors Banquet. What? Corona. What? Corona Light. What? Corona Premium. What? Modelo. What?
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. What is the worst thing to happen in wrestling in the last 25 years? Jeez, man.
I don't know, man. I like it. I liked the what. I think the worst thing to happen to wrestling in the last 25 years was the death of WCW. I think without the competition, WWE suffered. I really do.
Well, they got stagnant and they
Yeah.
knew it.
And as much as people will say that, oh, what about TNA or what about AEW? I mean, for a year or two, they were
just
hot.
not even close. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Nobody's ever brought there is one man, who can say that he beat Vince McMahon at his own game, and it was the guy that we were supposed to be talking to right now.
Who we will talk to later in the future.
He goes, I wasn't asking, I was saying it was what is the worst thing.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, right.
I mean.
I think he meant like creatively. I don't think he meant like.
Honestly, I could second that, Leslie, and say Owen Hart's death was just crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had so much potential. To me, he was like the guy that everybody just loved to hate. Like, he was that guy. He was literally, back in the day, he is the Dominic Mysterio of today. Or of years past. Like, everybody loves to hate Dominic now. Everybody loved to hate Owen, but he was actually a good ass wrestler.
Yeah. Do you remember a couple years ago? I think this might have been during COVID when there was a video leaked of his death for like 12 hours on the internet.
Really?
And I never saw it, but yeah, I remember it kind of making the news for a little while, and a lot of people being like, dude, that's sick.
I actually, unfortunately, did shortly after it happened.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, after it happened, not too long after, there was footage leaked, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's that's kind of tasteless in my opinion. Like, I understand that he's a public figure, a performer, but that's someone's dad, that's someone's husband, that's someone's son, that's someone's friend. Like, let's have some respect. Like, I don't agree with that. Yeah. And I'm not one of those people that is all about like canceling or deplatforming people. I don't believe in that at all. And I'm like, when I saw people sharing that, I was like, you're sick.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I get it. It is a different kind of.
You son of a bitch! I thought it was Eric Bischoff popping up.
No. But yeah, he was a nugget. He was a nugget.
Oh, hey, Monster Kid Corey said he actually met Owen Hart back in the Stampede Wrestling days. Hey, Corey, you're really? From Canada. You're from Canada. I got a question. Is the Hart family still considered like, I mean, for lack of a better word, like royalty? Is their name still really big in Canada? What's going on, Adrian? What are you up to?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Just my child disappearing. We finally found him, so I'm finally good.
It's a credible sport exposure.
Let's see.
Nathaniel seeing Kimberly and Toyos and the unemployment was a religious spirit for me. Thank you. Zilla. I will say, I still own both of them also.
Oh,
I
man.
had
I
what's
have
her
Sables too.
not Candace Owens. What's what Candace
Oh,
Michelle? Candace
yeah.
Michelle?
Get it? No. Was it Candace Michelle? I have hers too. And then I had that rocker chick.
Oh, Ashley Mazzaro.
Yeah, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
With
got hers too. So.
The lip piercings and
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
We're not going down her road. That's
no, we're not.
that's a Vince McMahon thing that we ain't getting into.
Oh no.
Hey,
Hello,
Matthew, what's
Matthew.
going on? Thanks for being
How are
here.
you?
Thanks for hanging out and just chatting with us.
Good to see you, Matt.
I mean, shit, I was hanging out on WrestleZone in the late 90s, man. Spoilers. It's a product for me. True.
You know, Leo, I don't know if you heard earlier in the video, I kind of grew up.
Love you too, Leslie, you bastard.
Dude, if you know, you know. Holy
Oh
crap.
my God.
What a name drop, Leslie. That is hilarious.
Lord have mercy.
Oh,
I'm
that
done.
just made my night. Oh my
That's
God.
hilarious. Dude, you know, I thought Eric Bischoff looked a little tan, but I wasn't going to say nothing.
Oh.
Goodness.
Not really Bret Hart, and to a slightly lesser extent Owen. With them
Yeah.
not actively wrestling not being as popular, they're kind of okay.
That's
Yeah, I mean that's and names fade, man. Names fade.
true.
Yeah. Adrian is a wonderful surprise, says Nathaniel Plummer.
Candace Michelle.
Oh,
Thank you,
Maria.
Nathaniel.
Maria. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria Kanellis.
Yes, wonderful surprise.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Coming to steal thunder. That's what he's doing.
Oh my God.
Monster Kid Corey says, right now I only really watch AEW and I keep tabs on New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hey, how are you feeling about AEW? I feel like when I do tune in or I do see clips, it seems like it's a lot of spot fest. But what? What?
I don't know if he's being like legit or
Not sure either.
He's like, what is
I
happening?
don't know what is funny. I know, it's like, yeah, what is happening?
So, Matthew, I don't know if you were on earlier, but unfortunately, Eric Bischoff had to cancel. So we decided to still come live. We kind of explained the situation at the beginning of the video. Basically, long story short, Eric Bischoff had some travel issues and is trying to get on a flight home. We thought maybe he was going to be sent to a hotel and that we might be able to do it later, but it's not looking like that. I actually haven't gotten a response from him or his I don't know, booker or assistant or whatever in about an hour. So I'm assuming right now it means that he's getting back on a plane. So we're gonna work out some dates and hopefully have a rescheduled interview as early as tomorrow, possibly next week. We depending on what his schedule is like. So,
Nathaniel, who do you guys want to see in Playboy now if it still ran? I would want all the ladies with their permission. Oh, baby. If you had to pick one.
Yeah, Playboy's out of business, right?
It is.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I mean, I know what you guys are gonna say, a mommy.
You damn right.
It's my mommy, okay? My mommy.
Oh yeah, Alexa Bliss. Hello.
Yes. Oh.
Hello. I think Nia Jax.
Daniel
For
wants
me.
Bailey.
Mm.
Oh. Matthew wants Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it'd have to be mommy, right? I mean, she's Alexa Bliss she's a smoke show too, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my two is Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. That'd be nice too.
So.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, man? So many of the women these days are beautiful and talented. So I don't think any of us, or most of us, red-blooded males on this stream would say no to any of them.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you go up to Matthew's comments about doing an interview with more wrestlers?
Where are we? Oh, right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So actually, Matthew, that's exactly what today was supposed to be with Eric Bischoff. It was going to be very similar to their Ask Eric Anything shows that they do, where Eric Stolp, my co-host, and I would have asked him questions. We would have pulled some questions from the chat, and then if we had time at the end, we would have gone through the chat in deeper detail. So yeah, that's kind of that was kind of the idea for today, and that is the idea. Kind of, I mean, really, honestly, with the majority of our shows is kind of like all of our interviews is kind of like a ask me anything type of thing. So, yeah. But look for more in the future. We always have our hands in many different pots. If you're interested and want to see us do that, we would love to do it. Honestly, we love bringing that type of content. The best thing you can do to help us out is share our show. Don't be a hoe. Share our show. Like, comment, subscribe. Invite your friends. Tell them about us. The better numbers we get, the better guests we can get. So, not saying that any of our guests so far have been bad. We've loved every single one of them. So. Yeah, I can honestly say I don't think we've had a bad guest so far.
We haven't.
They've all been just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's the real quick before we jump back into wrestling? Who do you guys have a favorite guest we've sat down with so far?
Oh, like as we just pointed out, we love every single guest that we've had.
Is there one that sticks out where you're like, oh, that was
Oh, I don't.
Stephanie was a sweetheart. I love talking to Stephanie. She was an absolute sweetheart. Jeff was cool. Jeff was super cool. So I did like talking to Jeff a lot, but I don't know if I can choose one though. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't think I could, because I love every single one of them. They're all so unique and special in their own way. They all had their special take and something different that we love, because if you know our stuff, we don't just love Godzilla and Kaiju. That's obviously the main one, but like we love so many other things that's what we're trying to do, is incorporate a lot of our loves into this podcast and really kind of stretch our limbs into different fandoms, honestly, and that we love just as much as Godzilla and Kaiju. So they've all been super great, and they all bring something different or did something different in their fields, which is really great. So we have a weird and wide spectrum of talent that we've done so far. And we will definitely be doing more wrestling type interviews. That is definitely on the 2025 bucket list for MWA. So,
I was going to say this, but Nathaniel and Leslie said it. All of our guests love them to death, but Alan Henry, a sweetheart of a man, is honestly just so loving and kind to everybody. He doesn't judge you. He doesn't care what, like, he's all about people and treating people fairly and nicely, and just he's for a big strong guy, he's a real gentle soul, and Alan deserves every bit of success that he's had so far and will hopefully have in the future. Truthfully,
Absolutely.
he's
Yeah.
he's a stand-up guy. But honestly, to a special mention to Stephanie Nadolny. She was our first kind of big guest, and she was just she's a sweetheart of a person too. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a perfect, let's see, Leslie's thing. In a perfect world, who would you have liked to have seen as WCW champion, but never was? For selfish reasons, I have two, because they were never world champions: Roddy Piper and Scott Hall. I think that it's a crime that neither of those two were ever a world champion in either of the big two companies.
Yep.
Adrian.
Agreed. Oh man. I'm Buff Bagwell.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
There's a shock. The buff with the stuff, huh?
Buff with the stuff, baby.
No way. Maybe.
When I was younger, I just found him very entertaining because he was kind of off the wall, kind of just doing antics. So he was good entertainment for sure. But I know he would have never risen to that level. But I always thought and hoped when WCW did end and a lot of the wrestlers did jump and go to WWF, and he made his very, very brief run, that he could have maybe have done something with it, but lo and behold, it wasn't to be. So
Do
it
you know
ended pretty quickly. So
that the same host, the guy that owns the platform of podcasts that Eric Bischoff is on, it's called Ad Free Shows. He also does an interview or a podcast with Bruce Pritchard, who is like a behind the scenes guy, like Vince McMahon's right hand guy. And do you know Bruce's reasoning for why the WCW people weren't pushed better when they came to WWE?
no,
He says, and I quote, "Nobody knew who they were. Nobody watched WCW." It's like, man, like, can you not tell that there's still a little sting there from that ass whooping of 100 and some odd weeks?
Real. Dude, for real.
Petty. So petty.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, Monster Kid Corey, yes, I did ask you about AEW and I passed right over it. Eric, can you find that comment?
It's right there.
Oh,
I found it
AEW
already.
is more of a Mexican Japanese influence product compared to WWE. A lot of energy has been sucked out of AEW after CM Punk being a big baby, but a few of the AEW guys are fire right now. That's good to hear. See, like, one of my biggest complaints in wrestling today, and I understand that it was a problem 20 years ago as well, but it's to the umpteenth degree now, and these boys know what I'm talking about. The false finishes. Stop kicking out of everyone's nothing means anything. Jey Uso uses a super kick as just a normal spot in a match. Like these moves,
like 10 times in the match.
Yeah, like
WrestleMania.
I hate the fact that no move means anything anymore. I hate that with a passion. And I also hate things like now, to be fair, I have not followed the Cope John Moxley feud, but I hate that type of gore just because. Now, I don't know, that could be his shtick, it could be the gimmick of whatever, and that's great. But I mean, I feel like that type of gore and that type of extreme wrestling should happen few and far between, and it would actually make it more impactful. Yeah, it was ugly. That was insane. Did you guys see that? Like,
I
it was
did.
literally,
That was
the nail got stuck in his
Oh.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and they were like pulling
you
it,
could
and
see
it
his
wasn't
skin.
coming out. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah, that was pretty intense for sure. Hey, Disco Inferno, very fun and entertaining. Dude, he was though. He was
Yeah.
the comic relief also, dude. He
Yep.
was funny.
him and Conan have a great podcast.
Mm.
It's called Keeping It 100.
Leslie, what is your personal favorite WCW championship belt in terms of design? For me, the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship belt was more impressive than the WCW World Title belt. Ooh.
I got to disagree. I think that WCW World Title, the big gold, is iconic, and I think that's a perfect belt. I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to agree. The big goal is always a championship that stood out to me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For sure.
Leslie, another one question. What has historically been the better fall event? WCW's Halloween Havoc or WWF Survivor Series? I loved Halloween Havoc, dude. I loved Halloween Havoc. And I always loved their setup for Halloween Havoc. They always went over the top with it. And that was one of their things that I really loved about WCW is when they had a themed pay-per-view like Halloween Havoc or Bash of the Beach or anything. I loved their setup, how it wasn't just, a Titantron or something like that. They actually had props and stuff to go with the actual theme. And I absolutely adored that. It was so fun to watch. And then if they ever started fighting in that stuff, it was a lot of fun, especially like Bash of the Beach. They'd be fighting on the sand dune that they put in the arena, for some kind of like hardcore match or, them fighting in the crowd or whatever. They go up there and start doing that kind of stuff. That was a lot of fun for me. I loved that stuff. So yeah, Halloween Havoc for me for sure.
I think at the time, for sure, Halloween Havoc, but I think just because of the longevity of WWE and Survivor Series, I guess you could probably make the argument for Survivor Series, but I mean, Survivor Series 97 is one of the most iconic because of the screw job.
Yeah.
I mean, but Halloween Havoc, like Sting Hogan, that 18-month build was incredible. And I don't know, that's a really tough one, Leslie. That really is.
But like you said, it's because of the longevity of Survivor Series that might give it the edge over it. Yeah. But if they were at the same amount of time, I do think that Halloween Havoc probably would have gave a run for Survivor Series, because Survivor Series was great for a while, but then it just got like they would just, okay, we're going to do the team match where it's one team versus one team, but then they just started throwing people in and it didn't make any sense. And it's like, what happened to the Survivor Series like match where it actually meant something? And, they had a group of guys against another group of guys, and it's like the best of the best versus the best of the best. And then it just got very campy and stupid. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like it anymore.
What do you guys think? Yeah, exactly, Corey. He goes, the problem with
Survivor that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. They don't do the Survivor Series anymore. It's so dumb.
Hey, what do you guys think? And this is for everybody, the chat too. How's everybody feeling about Lex Luger finally getting the nod to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, which for the longest time, it was kind of like Vince, the rumor and innuendo was that Vince didn't want Lex going in because of Lex's health problems and how it looked visually with him being I don't know if he's fully paralyzed, but a partial paraplegic or whatever. And he didn't think it looked good because there's so much negative press with wrestling, with how many people have died and been injured, etc. So how's everybody feeling on that? Eric?
I think it's great. Honestly, it shouldn't be his image in any way that keeps him out of it. I think he deserved it. He did a lot for, honestly, both companies. He had some epic matches, and honestly, he was like one of the big like superhero good guys, in both, honestly. Him, like his matches with him and Yokozuna, like were great, was awesome, and I still remember those, and I'm glad he's finally getting the nod, because let's be honest, to me, there's some people in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame, at least yet. I think they are in there too early. I think there's a lot of people that deserve it way more than some of the people that are already in it. So he definitely belongs in it.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy for him. He deserves it.
Me too. And I'm glad that he's getting to be a little bit more mobile. He's working with DDP and DDP's program with the yoga. I saw that that video where he was actually working with DDP. They were working out, and I think it was Cody Rhodes, I think, came in and let him know that he was in the Hall of Fame class of 2025. So it's good to see that he's, still trying, and, I've only heard and seen just nothing but just great results from DDP's, workouts and regimens. So, who knows? But I'm sure it's better, than what he was.
Have you seen online? There's been some fans kind of trashing DDP, saying that he's only helping some of these wrestlers like Scott Hall, Buff Bagwell, Lex Luger, Jake the Snake, because he's doing it just for the clout and recognition. And I just think that's I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree.
Or maybe he's actually personal friends with them.
Exactly, yeah.
Like they worked together in the same company for many, many, many years. They've probably formed friendships. And yeah, their name has popularity behind it. Yeah, it does. That doesn't mean that he's doing it because of that. Like they could just be straight up just friends, and he's trying to help his friends out. So I think that's kind of far-fetched, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, and what Corey said too.
This.
Oh, bye, Adrian.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. That's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, Sid would be a good one too, Leslie. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, we can't have them all that we think deserves to be in it, but kind of it is what I think they're already maxed out for their people, right? Like it's like 5 per year or something. I think they're already maxed out with that, right? I don't think we're getting any more.
Do they set a number? I don't know. I feel like some years
I don't really know if there's a set number. It always seems like there's like 5 or 6 usually each year.
Nathaniel brings up a good point.
Matches, but I do miss the bra and panties. I mean, honestly, that's what they were doing to get the ratings to beat WCW. I mean, they were pulling out all the stops. I mean, they were doing anything they could to get the ratings back up. So
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What combo you like more, Hulk Hogan with the Winged Eagle WWF Championship belt, or Hollywood Hogan with the big gold belt?
No. Winged eagle belt has always been my favorite and probably will always be my favorite. It's just it looks so good. So good. And
The
I
Winged
wish they would bring
Eagles,
it back permanently.
yeah, the Winged Eagle's pretty damn good too.
Yeah, I love that one.
I'd have to say, I mean, Hollywood Hogan, I think, is my favorite. But I would say the Winged Eagle with Hogan is probably more iconic, just because it was like the staple of that America, the '80s, we're America bitch type mentality, and
Yeah. For real.
yeah.
Wait. Oh, that's funny.
Opinions on WCW versus WWF match story. Well, I think that.
Oh, like the invasion? Are you talking about?
Oh, I thought he was like.
Is that what he's talking about? Or
yeah, I think he is.
Like, is he talking about when they absorbed WCW and they started bringing in the wrestlers? And then
are you talking the invasion storyline? Because if you're talking
about
the invasion storyline, that was an utter total fucking disappointment.
And that's what I kind of want to know, because as Corey states, and that's honestly what it was. He didn't want these people there, and he brought them in just to beat the crap out of them and to show that his guys were better and far superior.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But also, to be fair, I'm sure as much as we all love the Stone Colds, the Undertakers, the Rocks, the Triple H's, I'm pretty sure that was a lot of their ego too, being like, no, we're not, we're not losing to that.
If they had a say,
Yeah.
Nitro 97.
I only watch one. WCW Nitro 97 or WF Raw. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Nitro too, honestly.
Do.
That's not. No, that's not. Dude, Jesus. How about both? Like I used to.
No.
I used to watch both. Come on now. Oh.
Nope.
I would have to go back and actually see what is going on in that year to really pick one, because they're both so close and they were both like peaked out in that time frame. So you're getting the best of the best on both sides, honestly. But I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go WWF by a hair.
All right.
ECW team in the final battle only had one actual WCW. yeah, the team, dude, for real. It was so weird because then you had like WWF guys going over and switching. It was so weird that then you had WCW guys leaving the company, and there wasn't really an invasion anymore. It was just kind of just there. It was just, Vince stroking his ego and
as always
showing how he was top dog even still. So yeah, it was yeah.
Yep. Well, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? We're here to brighten everyone's day to try to make up for the unexpected
The thing
cancellation.
says, I always thought the Divas butterfly belt looked neat. I know Chelsea Green wants it back as another women's title, which actually that's cool. And the $1 million belt was cool. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Loved the $1 million belt, dude. But yeah, the butterfly belt wasn't terrible.
I just never liked the word divas because to me, maybe it's because of the era I grew up in, but diva always had a negative connotation to it. Like as somebody who's like
yeah,
bratty and demanding and like high maintenance.
Stuck
So
up.
like calling the entire women's division divas, it showed like the to me just kind of like low brow, like low thinking towards them. Which I understand that none of them really were, pro wrestlers. They were all like models and stuff of that nature that were hired to be, pro wrestlers like that. Without sounding, derogatory, they were hired because they were pretty. There was maybe 10% of them that could actually wrestle, but the rest of them were meant to just be eye candy. And I don't know. I just always thought diva was just kind of like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
that is true. Thoughts on the rumors of Vince creating another wrestling brand? Jesus. I hope nobody. Why would anybody want to be hired by him? But whatever.
Especially if you're a woman.
For real.
Like I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. Like, I understand allegations are allegations, and I'm a firm believer of innocent until proven guilty. But kind of seems like Janelle Grant brought the receipts. So I don't see if I was a woman, I would never want to be alone with him.
And if you're a man, why would you want to be associated with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's just a lot of talk, honestly.
You want me to be honest? Yeah, I think he's going to do it. I do. I think he's going to do it.
I think he'll do it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. And I hope it's not. I hope it's just crushed between or under everybody's foot, and just like you were a complete second thought, and you're done. Like your time is come and gone, and just go retire and enjoy your money while you have it, or the freedom while you have it, because you might not have it anymore. So
for real, he's an 80-year-old man or something like, and you just got paid $10 billion. Probably 2 or 3 billion of that or 4 billion of that is yours. Go. You have 10, 15 years tops left on this earth. Go. Go do something. Go, go buy a house in every country and stay a month there. Like, go travel the world and actually enjoy it. Like, spend time with your grandkids.
For real.
That's his ego, though. You know that.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see that Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix?
Not yet.
No. Not yet.
So if you're a wrestling fan, you're really not listening to any or getting any new information. But in one of the I think it was like in one of the last episodes, the interviewers asked Vince like, what do you do every day, or like what do you think about? He's like, oh, I'm thinking about sex right now, and the next time I'm gonna have sex. And it's just kind of like, dude, like you're an 80-year-old man, you have grandkids, like that's weird, dude. Like, like I don't know, maybe it's just me.
No, that's weird.
Yeah. You're muted, Eric.
One last question from Leslie before we get out of here. One last question. One is coming to kill you, and the other is your protector. Who are you choosing to be your protector and killer? Ron Simmons or Meng?
Ron Simmons as the Protector.
Oh, I was gonna say Manga's the Protector. Ron Simmons is the killer. Dude, Manga's a beast.
Yeah, no. Ron Simmons for sure.
Damn.
Hey, this is totally off topic, but what does the chat think of the Avengers Doomsday cast that was just announced?
Ooh.
Anybody in here still a Marvel fan?
Yeah. Do you like Marvel?
I mean, I'll probably watch it, honestly. But I mean, I've been in this journey so long already. You might as well keep going.
True, but there is some things I haven't watched yet, so I'm a little just the TV, some of the TV shows. Well, no, the movie too. I haven't seen the Marvels, the second one too.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
one
I
saw that.
I mean, I wish I went to watch the Eternals, but I unfortunately did. So
I got halfway through that movie and stopped watching. I was like, no, I'm good. I was very disappointed.
But yeah, there's some shows I haven't watched yet. Yeah, I'm not. I was talking to Joe about this actually before we jumped on here. I'm not too thrilled about it. There's not too many big names, and I think it's a very alternate timeline because they have names that are supposed to be dead, and doesn't make any sense. So it has to be an alternate timeline. So that's the only thing I could think of, especially with Robert Downey being Doomsday, Doctor Doom.
Doomsday.
Wrong
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, it's gonna be alternate timeline kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best, but good lord, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Joe, you know I've been working all day. Who all got announced for that movie? I haven't seen it yet.
Hold please.
Okay.
Full cast list for Avengers Doomsday. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Louis Pullman as Sentry, Florence Pugh as Yelena, Danny Ramirez as Falcon, Ian McKellen as Magneto,
Ooh, Magneto.
Sebastian Stan as
Took him
Bucky.
that long.
Yeah, I know. I'm like Sebastian
Light
Stan as
bulb.
Bucky, Winston Duke as M'Baku, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Kelsey Grammer as Beast,
Ooh, okay.
James Marsden as Cyclops,
Okay.
Channing Tatum as Gambit,
Gambit.
Ooh, Gambit.
Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Alan Cumming returning as Nightcrawler,
Ooh.
Letitia Wright as Black Panther, Tanak Hirata Maja as Namor, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, David Harbour as Red Guardian, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, Eben Moss Baccarat as The Thing, and Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Oh, also returning as Mystique, Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, shit.
original
Shit.
The original Mystique.
Oh, my God. I'm
They're
shocked.
really stretching here.
They are.
What they're doing, you know what they're doing? They're doing what Deadpool and Wolverine just
Wolverine
did.
did.
I don't think so. You know what I think they're doing? I think they're doing X-Men versus Avengers.
Yes,
Yes.
but you have the old X-Men cast. Who cares? They're too old. What they're doing is they're doing a fan service kind of movie where they're getting all this nostalgia actors and actresses come back reprising roles, but they're not going to have much of a role, honestly. Basically, yes. Like, because they saw how well Deadpool and Wolverine did with all of these iconic, like, myth kind of things where, oh, so-and-so could be doing this, or this person could play this person. It would be awesome casting. Or, you know, it was Wesley Snipes returning as Blade, and Jennifer Garner reprising Elektra. Like, those are just fan service moments for the movie. People love that stuff. Same thing with Chris Evans coming back as Human Torch. They're doing the same thing, but I don't think they're going to have much of a role because that's so many people in there to do anything with. And then you're introducing this new, you know, the Thunderbolts. You're bringing in Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. I don't see them doing a lot with that older cast, honestly. And I don't like it, honestly. I don't like it.
It's going to be fishy. This just depends how they tell the story, honestly, and what their roles are going to be in the film, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I got to agree. I think what Corey said, they're throwing everything against the wall, hoping for that nostalgia factor to kind of bring you back in and to hide the fact that the story is probably going to suck, you know? And I mean, realistically, you're going to have to recast some of these. With all due respect to Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, they're very old. They can't do this another, 10, 20 years. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They were old 30 years ago. Like
they're prehistoric. You're like,
yeah,
for real.
Ian McKellen has looked 108 for 50 fucking years. Like, and I love him. Gandalf Holland, he's amazing. But they're gonna have to seriously recast.
Well, and there was a chair that said Madam Web.
I saw that. Whoever. Dakota Johnson. Maybe I skipped her name.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I understand. Like I said, it's a different timeline because they have all these things kind of rolling into one. So.
Exactly, Corey.
Exactly.
Yes. They should have ended Endgame with a post-credit scene showing the birth of a mutant, and then spent the next phase building up the MCU, X-Men, and Fantastic Four. I just spit everywhere saying this. Yes, because this is exactly what I said. They should pause the Thors and the Hulks and the everybody else that we. Let's be honest. Nobody cared about Echo, and nobody cared about Hawk Girl or whatever his She-Hulk, all this stuff. People didn't want to see it. People wanted to see the X-Men. People wanted to see the Fantastic Four. People, there's yes, I agree 1,000%. The Phase 4 should have been building up the new heroes that were acquired by Fox, by Disney from Fox.
By Disney,
yeah. Kate Bishop, and that's what we were trying to say.
That's the thing, is that they tried to force all these not well-known superheroes in our faces when you just killed off the ones that we all cared about, but then didn't give us the other ones that we cared about. And you try to force this new generation on us. And it's like, we don't want them. We want the other big guys, but you're not giving it to us. It's like, no wonder it went downhill. You were peaked up and you lost all of your heroes, but then you wanted to, like, hey, we're just going to introduce some new ones and it's going to stay at the same level. No one cares or knows about them.
I think what the biggest problem is that they retired the old cast and just replaced them with the exact same person. Now instead of Hulk, we have She-Hulk. Instead of Hawkeye, we have whatever her name is.
Kate Bishop,
Kate Bishop, thank you. Instead of Chris Evans, Steve Rogers as Captain America. We have Anthony Mackie. He should have just stayed Falcon. Like you literally retire instead of Tony Stark. We're having Ironheart now. These characters are too popular. Their protege, their sidekick. This isn't a Batman Robin situation. Nobody cares. People are too attached to these established characters and these established actors. Like you shot all these people in the foot from the get-go by having them try to shoulder these massive characters. Like, you know, yeah, and they should. The only Phase 4, Phase 5 Marvel movies that I've been actually genuinely excited for were the ones that was one in particular was it Shang-Chi.
Yes, Shang-Chi was amazing.
You know, and even then, like it annoyed me at some parts because they're that stupid humor and stuff with like Aquafina. It's like, dude, like stop trying to be like every other Marvel comedy action. Like not everything needs to be a carbon copy. Like I still like Shang-Chi, but like it felt like I was trying to watch a martial arts version of like Guardians of the Galaxy or something with like all the constant slapstick comedy.
Yep, that's exactly it though.
Yeah, and even like Multiverse of Madness. Like I went in there, I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of cool. It was kind of boring. You know, I was like, oh man, like, you know, and I just, you know, I don't know. Far From Home, all right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Jonathan Majors, the kid didn't help.
Yeah, that kind of
But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, which they're in talks with bringing him back.
Sure, but even then, you had Kang in an Ant-Man movie and be defeated in an Ant-Man movie, but yet
how can he be the big bad?
Yeah, you're trying to build him up like he's bigger and badder than Thanos. No, like I'm sorry, what? No, I don't think that no more. You had Ant-Man and the Wasp, and a 95-year-old Janet Van Dyne beat him. Like, no. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. It's all just. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Corey, they kind of screwed up bringing back Kang because they emergency replaced him with Doctor Doom. Yeah,
which they're forcing and rushing Doctor Doom, which they should not do.
No, they should not.
You know, it's just they had to pivot, and because they were panicked like wholeheartedly, and it's just like, guys, if you mess this up, like you could be tanking your whole franchise with not doing this correctly.
Yeah, what Doctor Doom is arguably the most well-known, popular Marvel villain in history. I mean, maybe Thanos now just because of his appearance in the movies, but like prior to that, I think the big one that people knew about was probably Doctor Doom. And actually, so talking about bringing back an old, I know we're going to probably wrap up here, but talking about bringing back an old character and recasting them, you know who should have been Doctor Doom?
Who?
Norton. Edward Norton.
Why? But why?
Because I think he fits more. Like people aren't going to look at Robert Downey Jr. as anything but Tony Stark.
Well, that is true. That is true.
You know, like if you're going to bring back somebody and recast him, I actually think Edward Norton could have done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
As Doctor Doom. I actually liked whatever that McMahon guy's name was from the first Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, Julian McMahon?
Julian McMahon, thank you. Yeah. He didn't do bad. He did a pretty good Doctor Doom. You know who else?
It's just the design sucked.
Yeah.
John Hamm. of Mad Men. He would have been a cool Dr. Doom, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. Yep, he could have done a good job. My only problem with him is that sometimes it's really hard to understand him because he has such a thick accent.
Yeah.
I need like subtitles.
I need subtitles. I think with that note, I think this comment sums up our stream here. So,
I know Dr. Doom has an accent. I'm just saying it's hard for me to understand Mads Mikkelsen's accent sometimes. I'm just, I'm a stupid American. I don't speak no good English. I need to hear things better. Like I don't,
Plus, he's partially deaf, so he has to.
That is true. I am legitimately partially deaf, so it's very hard for me to hear things. So
yeah, so
that's why I always yell at everybody if they have background on their stream. I'm like, get off the stream because I can't hear anything other than what's going on in the background. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, we're what?
What?
The MCU? What? Fantastic Four? What? Johnny Storm? What? Reed Richards? What? Storm? What? The Thing? What? Yeah. Listen, Ghidoristan? What?
What?
Yeah, this was fun. This was kind of an impromptu thing, guys. We apologize. We're very disappointed and really kind of in the dumps that Eric Bischoff had to cancel. But honestly, I mean, this was a lot of fun. Just kind of
this was a lot of fun. Yeah, just shooting,
not knowing what we're going to talk about and just rambling for an hour and a half and having you guys interact without us having really a flow. I think it actually worked out kind of good. Maybe we'll do this more often and just let you guys steer the show and I don't know.
We'll just chat.
Yeah, just chat. It's it was a lot of fun, really. Kind of made you know what they say when life makes you gives you lemons, make lemon pie. So
yeah.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Yeah, same with you, man. Thanks for tuning in, Corey. And like you commented on our post, we started doing the mountain time just for you.
Yes,
man.
just for you.
I'm glad you noticed.
So I guess with that, everybody, we will wrap up. Thank you guys for tuning in and keeping this show afloat. All of you, each and every one of you guys are amazing. We love you and appreciate all the support. If it's not too much of a hindrance or inconvenience, if you guys could give us a thumbs up down here, subscribe to us on YouTube, don't be a host, share the show, and for all of your collectible needs and goods, go to super7.com/monsterswithattitude 2024, link in the bio. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Eric, Adrian, thanks for jumping on, doing a little damage control, considering we were dealt a little bit of a bad hand here, but hopefully in the coming hours or days, we will have an announcement on the next Raw interview with Eric Bischoff. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, I got 3 words for you. Embrace the attitude.
Embrace the attitude. Woo.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, all.